Judge, we are unable to resolve this case, so we will need a trial, and I'll ask that rent be paid in the court for the months of November, December, January, and now February. The undisputed rent, we contend there's more owed than that, but the undisputed amount is $1,600 per month.
All right, one moment. All right, and so Ms. Arsenault, in your documentation here, you were stating that you were in the process of going through steps to potentially buy the home, but in the
That's correct.
meantime, you were in
Yeah.
agreement that rent has not been paid from November through present.
Well, after speaking to him, Bullock Management has been in breach of contract by many, many things in the lease that I have stated to the attorney. I also have been in the house for 12 years, have always received an amendment,
Well,
and
let
they
me do
did.
this. Raise your right hand for me.
Pardon me?
Raise your right hand.
Yes, sir.
Do you swear or affirm your statements to the court will be the truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes, I do.
All right. How much rent did you pay in November?
November, I did not pay any rent. This is when the fire had just occurred and I was buying the house and only communicating with the homeowner. I had
All
not
right. How
had,
much rent did you pay in December, January, and February?
I did not pay any then either because I did not receive any requests for rent. And I've been communicating with the homeowner, not the leasing agents, not the landlord.
Okay.
They stopped.
And what was the amount of rent that was due in October of 2024?
Well, they overcharged me because they did not give me an amendment to increase my rent despite me asking for an amendment to the lease. And you have documentation
Please
proving
answer
that.
the questions that are
So,
being asked.
well,
What is the
I'm
amount
getting
of
there.
rent that was due in October of 2024?
Zero was due in October
And why is that?
because it was issued to me free. There was a fire in the house, sir, and I had to stay in a hotel since June.
Judge, she's correct. The client gave her a full rental concession while the repairs were being made from July through October of 2025.
And so Ms. Arsenault, are you in agreement that you began occupying the property again in November?
She's been occupied the
Correct.
whole time.
Well,
No, I
I
have
mean,
not, sir. No, I was staying in a hotel and I have proof of that.
so when is the
So
last time you paid rent before the
June
hotel and the
and
concessions? And
June
what was
for
the amount paid in June?
$1,600.
Okay.
Well, let me rephrase that. My last lease signed with them was signed in 2024 for $1,600 a month for 6 months. I paid in advance through to June, and they charged me $1,700 for 3 months without notifying me, which is a violation of their contract. They have to give me an amendment anytime they
Okay.
increase
Ms.
the rent.
Arsenault, I'm here to ask simple questions that
Okay.
need simple answers. The things you're talking about are issues for trial. The
Okay.
amount of rent you were paying every month was $1,600. You did not pay that
Okay.
amount of rent for November, December, January, or February.
Correct.
So what is going to be prepared for this case is an order that says you are to pay rent into court, and then that money will be held in the court registry for pending the outcome of the case.
Okay.
When that money is paid in, it'll be held. If for some reason the case is not resolved on the next scheduled date, which is going to be Monday, March the 2nd, rent is due for March on the 5th, and the money that gets paid in, it's due every 5th of the month thereafter if the case somehow continues on. But that money, again, is held in the registry. The court will rule and make a determination as to the outcome of the case, and then order that those funds be dispersed to the appropriate party based on their ruling.
Okay.
And so it'll be
My request to you, Judge, is I was hoping to get a hardship because I am on chemo pills and have a severe immune disease and on oxygen. I've submitted a medical letter. So this whole ordeal has been traumatic for me, and I've been in the house for 12 years. I will have all the money that is owed to them if deemed owed to them in 30 days. And then by then I might even have had purchased the house. I have a friend purchasing the house for me that is very wealthy because I helped him when he had prostate cancer. So the owner has, you have all the proof communication with the owner. I've been dealing with him the whole time since the fire. Haven't even spoken to Bullock management. They have never reached out to me, nor were they involved with the repairs.
All right. Well, the rent into court order will be for the amount of $6,400 into the registry, and that will be by next Thursday, which is the 26th. And then $1,600 per month on the 5th of March and every 5th of the month
Can you not
thereafter.
extended time for that, sir? I won't have it by next week.
Judge, she hadn't paid rent in 7 months. She should have it
You
now.
can do the best that you can with that, but that will be the order of the court. So your court date will be March 2nd at 9 a.m. and it will be in person at the DeKalb County Courthouse in courtroom 1200 C as in Charlie. And the case may proceed to trial that day.
Okay, can you
And
repeat
so I'll
that question, please, Judge?
repeat what? I'm sorry.
That, and I'm on disability, since
It's
the
a
attorney.
$6,400 payment of rent into court that is due by Thursday, the 26th, and $1,600 per month on the 5th of the month of March and every 5th thereafter if the case remains pending in whatever form or fashion. And so, but the court date will be Monday the 2nd, 9 a.m., courtroom 1200 C as in Charlie. Any witnesses who will need to testify, any materials you need to bring, have them in a physical form to turn over to the court or submit them in advance, as you've already done with some materials I see. The main thing is just that you do not show up with things on your phone, as we are unable to process those in the courtroom in that way. And
Yeah.
so we will
Now,
prepare that order and mail it out.
No, Judge, I don't even have a lease with Bullock Management. That's the main issue. The lease had
That will be a
expired.
great thing for you to assert at trial. The claim at this point is that rent has been unpaid for a period of time, and I suspect what they would argue is that there were holdover provisions in the lease if it was not renewed with another formal document. It doesn't simply revert to being free, but that money would.
Your Honor, that is not what occurred. The owner had agreed to.
Ma'am, we are not here for what occurred today. I already had to do this before. I can't finish sentences and thoughts. I can't get answers to simple questions. We're resetting the case because there's not an agreement. Your trial will be on the date and time that I've given you, and you need to show up ready to argue your case then. The issues are not being resolved today.
Okay.
What happens when dispossessory cases are reset is that the tenant, when there is a substantial amount of rent due, pays that money into the registry as a sign of good faith. And then if the issues are resolved in their favor, that money is returned to them when the case is concluded. And so that will be my order. It will be prepared and it will be emailed to you. But as it relates to this matter for today, it will reconvene on Monday, March 2nd in courtroom 1200 C at 9 a.m. And so any documents, exhibits, evidence, or witnesses will need to be brought with you or turned in advance, and just make sure the clerk confirms that they were received and processed.
So just to reiterate, if I don't have the money on Thursday, I'm not going to have my things thrown out. I've been in the house for 12 years, but I will have the court date on the 2nd, at which
You'll
case
have a court date on the 2nd no matter what. If you don't make the payment on the 26th, they have the ability to apply for a writ of possession. That
Now,
still has to be reviewed and signed by a judge and executed by the marshal. The difference is if you have a court date, for example, on March 2nd, and you have a trial and the court rules in the landlord's favor at trial, then there would be a 7-day period before they could apply for that writ of possession. If you fail to make your payment of rent into court, they can apply for the writ of possession based on your failure to pay, as opposed to waiting until after March 9th.
Okay. Now, my other question is, I have a heart condition as well as serious other illness. 9 a.m., I probably won't be able to even physically talk or walk. So is there any late appointments in the day? Because otherwise
Court starts at 9 and it goes until it is done. Sometimes that is 11:30, sometimes that is 1 o'clock. But it is a calendar full of people, and we get going and we handle cases one at a time for however long it takes. And so I will say, I recognize the physical challenges that you are facing. I can say that I've never finished one of these calendars before 11 o'clock, but the court session starts at 9. The notice that every person on the calendar gets is 9. the later you are, the higher risk you run that a default will be entered in your absence. And that is the best way that I can put that. I can't tell you to report at 11 or 12 or 1 because
Oh,
I won't
it's not
necessarily be able to
that.
guarantee a specially set time for you compared to the other people on the calendar.
Yeah, I understand, but do you not have anything for disabled people? Because I will be in a wheelchair at that early, probably.
What about, I am open to further explanation. What is it about the time of day? Because what I'm understanding from what you're saying, and I could be understanding it wrong, I am very much leaving the door open for that, is that if it were later in the day as opposed to earlier in the day, you would be better suited to handle court business.
Right. My heart stops at night and my blood pressure drops. So it takes a while for the blood to get going. And I
So
have
over the course of the day, that condition improves, is what you're saying.
exactly, but I also have an immune illness. So I have difficulty speaking and my paralysis comes on. So it's really, really bad later. And I've been on this call for so long, it's starting to kick in now. I couldn't even write when I came into the court.
All right. You can report at 11:30 a.m. I can't give you any other guarantee that court would still be going as to when court would end to tell you a time any later than that to report.
That's
But
fine.
it will be noted that you can report at 11:30 a.m. and
Okay.
we'll see how it goes.
I
We'll
appreciate
prepare and
it.
email the order for run into court to all parties, probably within the next 24 hours. And then we'll see everybody on Monday the 2nd. Ms. Arsenault, you have concluded your business with the court. You'll be placed in the waiting room, and then you are free to log out from there.
And just one last question, Your Honor, regarding hardships, does that not apply? Is there nothing the court should grant, or will that be contested in the court trial?
I've made my ruling, and any other issues will be handled at trial.
Okay.
Have a good day. Good luck.
Judge,
Yes, ma'am.
my phone is on 2% and I'm at work. I got it on a charger, but it's about to die.
Okay. Let me go ahead and do this. Do you swear that any statements you make to the court will be the truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes, sir.
All right. Give me just a moment here. Let me see if I can get Mr. Williams back. Did he tell you the terms of your agreement?
Yes.
All right. And what was the writ date that he gave you regarding your case?
The 28th.
All right. And do you remember the money judgment amount?
It was like 10,000.
Okay, he's coming in now. Sorry to bring you back unexpectedly, Mr. Williams. Miss
Okay.
Neeson is having some battery challenges, and I think we're about to lose her. She was indicating that the agreement in her case would put the writ date at the 28th, and I was going to ask you the money judgment amount.
Sure, Judge. It is, oh, here it is. $10,197 plus costs.
All right, and Miss Neeson, you're agreeing freely and voluntarily to this resolution. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'll sign those papers when they come in. For today, you are free to log off.
Okay, thank you.
I'll give you the other ones while I'm out here too, Judge.
All right, I've got number 8, Morant.
Yes, Judge, we are providing for a writ on February 28, 2026 at 11:59 PM. Total judgments, $3,843.60 plus costs. She's gonna get it paid, it sounds like, but if she doesn't, she understands she's gotta move.
All right, Miss Morant, do you swear to tell the truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes,
And are you freely and voluntarily agreeing to those terms?
yes.
Very good. I'll sign your papers shortly, and you'll for today you are free to log off. Have a good day.
All right, you too. Thank you.
All right, for Mr. Snow on number 11.
Yes, Judge, we're providing for a writ on February 28, 2026 at 11:59 PM. Total judgment is $2,446.19 plus costs. Mr. Snow's trying to get it worked out as well.
All right, Mr. Snow, do you swear to tell the truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes.
And are you freely and voluntarily agreeing to those terms?
Yes.
Excellent. I'll sign your papers when they come in. You're free to log off. Have a good day.
Thank you.
All right.
Position
I'm sorry.
13, Ms. Harris, Judge, we have a consent in that case. She's also trying to get it worked out, but we are going to issue the writ on February 28, 2026 at 11:59 PM. Total judgment's $10,760 plus court costs.
All right. Very good. Miss Harris, if you can unmute and turn your camera on for me, please.
I'm here.
I can hear you. I cannot see you.
Okay,
Try
hold
that
on one
prompt to start
second.
your video. There
Here
we
we
go.
are.
All right, Miss Harris, do you swear to tell the truth under penalty of perjury?
Absolutely.
All right. Are you freely and voluntarily agreeing to these terms?
I do.
Excellent. We'll get those papers signed and you're free to go. Have a nice day.
Okay, thank you guys so much for your time. I appreciate you.
Take care, Ms. Harris.
Okay.
Mr. Muttry's not here. I'm moving to strike. I'm going to give him 7 days through the 25th. He filed the answer, so I've prorated the rent through the 25th, which is $3,651.11. I think it's his daughter that's here on his behalf.
No, I'm the sister.
Sister, sorry, I couldn't remember.
That's okay.
All right, ma'am. And so you're welcome to turn your camera on if you see this prompt that's about to pop up. And so
Okay.
what's happening is that the landlord essentially cannot apply for a writ for at least 7 days. When they do apply, it still has to be reviewed by a judge and signed by a judge. And the marshal would have to schedule any kind of set out from there. And so it would still take some time if there are belongings that need to be gathered or you're trying to get people or things to another location. But that would be the money judgment through the date. If somebody was going to try to make a payment and remain in the property, talk to the complex because the money they would expect would likely be a higher total given that it's almost the end of the month. And the total you're given today does not include certain fees that have come in since the case was filed. Okay?
Okay, so he given up to what date?
At
If-
least the soonest he can apply for the writ is the 26th. It would still have to be signed by a judge and the marshal would still have to come out. I have learned better than to make any promises about what that means or how long that might take. I would hate to be wrong, and I have no way to guarantee what the marshal would do. And so all I can say is he can't apply until at least the 26th.
Okay, apply, okay. So he have to apply.
Apply for the writ, signed by a
Mhm.
judge, executed by the marshal. And none of that can start until the 26th.
Okay,
All right.
Okay.
Good luck to you. Thank you for being with us today on his behalf.
okay, thank you.
All right. I see Miss Sanders on number 18.
Yes, Judge. We're doing a writ as well on February 28th at 11:59 PM. Total judgment's $2,863.80 plus costs, and she's going to go try working it out with them.
All right. One moment. Miss Sanders, do you swear your statements today will be the truth under penalty of perjury? All right. I saw the I do. Give me a moment. You can click this prompt to unmute. There you go.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Miss Sanders, I had a flag on my calendar that I just now noticed, but did you make a payment sometime earlier this month?
For
Rent?
I made it for I'm clear for December and January. I believe this is what is for February.
So, Mr. Williams, I've got a give me just a moment here and I can.
I don't think January's been paid, right, Miss Sanders?
Well,
If you look,
For December, well, I know I was I thought this was for
No,
For February?
the answer says I will be
Oh,
open.
hang on just a minute, Mr. Williams, because this is what flagged and showed up on Odyssey.
Oh, they dismissed it?
So it looks like I'm looking for the stamp. It looks like we filed this in on the 12th, so less than a week ago.
Okay.
So I don't not clear on what happened there, but Ms. Sanders, it appears that did you make a partial payment and they kept it?
They
Like
kept,
some
they've
of the
kept,
back rent?
yeah, they kept, for December and for January, they took the money and kept it. But then that's why I answered was in court like
So
last
when
month,
did you make that payment?
sir.
When did you make that payment?
I've made the payments, I don't have my old paperwork, but I've made those, um, I I made them when I was supposed to, but my balance carried over and they never dismissed them. So I put them in
So I can tell you, I'll jump in. This is a little bit much more to unravel than I thought it would be. I'll put it that way. What I can tell you is they submitted paperwork, whoever the agent is for the property, that dismissed the dispossessory case. So what I'm guessing is that you made a payment after January 24th and they decided to keep it. And so I appreciate the time you and Mr. Williams put into the discussion, but in the meantime, this case has been dismissed. And so if you continue to be behind when your March rent comes due, then they may refile the action and start again. So just keep that in mind, okay? But
Okay,
it'll be a new case number and it'll show up on your door again, and you can go from there.
okay.
All right. And for today, you're free to log off. Thank you.
Miss Barrett is here in earnest for Miss Johnson, who is in a very pressing situation with her medical condition. She's in a coma. And so we're going to do a default motion to strike the answer writ to issue February 23rd at 11:59 p.m. and a judgment for 1956 and 21 cents.
All right. Miss Barrett, I know that you're not a party to your mother's case, but you were gracious enough in the middle of all of this to appear on her behalf. I certainly wish her and your family the best with the medical challenges that she is dealing with. Do you have any questions about what would be happening today?
I think the attorney kind of explained it to me, and thank you for your well wishes. I don't believe we have any questions as of right now. I guess we'll just have to cross that bridge when we get there. I have been in conversation with the young lady from the leasing office. They have been helping me kind of figure out what we need to do. But based on some new information we received, we just decided to go get her items out of the home, and we should have everything out by this weekend.
Okay. Just make sure that they have, the keys and any other points of access, mailbox keys, gate clickers, and all those things as part of returning possession back to them. And if you're in contact with them regularly, once you get everything out, just let them know in writing, like send them an email or something to that effect. Just saying, hey, everything's out, it's all yours, you're free to go back in, and then that will keep them from having to apply for a writ of possession. And if there was anything that needed to be looked at after the fact for your mother, it would also, be something that would not be on showing that she had to deal with that as part of a landlord tenant case too, if it comes to that. So
Okay.
Again, thank you for being with us and being patient, and certainly all the best to you and your family.
Thank you.
I'm doing this math correctly, that your monthly rent is about $1,400 per month. Is that correct?
Yes. And then it should be $14.70 with the water fee.
Okay. Understood. So the rent into court order is going to have you pay. Need one moment. All right, the rent into court order is going to have you pay 3 months rent into court that will be held in the registry, and then if the case continues past the scheduled date for whatever reason, monthly rent is due on the 5th of every month after that. Money that gets paid into the registry is held in the registry, and then it's dispensed to the appropriate party when the case is concluded. And so that would be $4,200 to be paid in by the 26th. Let me make a note.
Of this month?
Correct.
Okay, so
And then,
I have the problem of why my rent is so far behind, if you don't mind, Your Honor. I have this place, this rental assistance called Archie, which I sent in 2 weeks ago. They were willing to pay, and they told me when I go to court to contact them and update them. Miss Sylvia, I don't know if she's our new landlord or if she's our property management. I don't know. She never really specified exactly who she was. She said that she did not want any money from me. I sent in documents prior to this court date where it told me that I've tried to pay my rent on multiple occasions. She said that she only wanted possession and she wanted $0 from me. She just wanted me to get out. So Archie is still willing to pay. So would I tell them to pay the money to the courthouse instead? I'm confused.
if somebody is willing to come down there and do it, I believe it has to be done in person. But you'll get the instruction. You can show them the order and see if they're willing to do that. The landlord is not required to take anything less than a full payment. And so they appear to be alleging that you're in arrears for amounts beyond this, but whether it's you paying or whether rental assistance comes to the courthouse and pays, the money that you pay will be placed into the registry. And then it will be held until the case is concluded. And so it would be $4,200 to be paid by the close of business on the 26th. And then if the case continues past the 5th, or to the 5th or further, then monthly rent is due on the 5th of each month into the registry, and it'll be $1,400 per month. And that amount, again, is held until the case is concluded. We will see you in courtroom 1200C, as in Charlie, on Monday, March the 2nd at 9 o'clock, and your trial will be held at that time.
Okay, so courtroom C, March 2nd. You said at
9
12?
a.m.
Oh, 9 a.m.
9 a.m.
Okay, and then 4,200 by the 26th.
Correct.
And that's paid into the registry?
That's right. You'll be emailed a court order that will have those terms. If you don't get it by Friday, then call the clerk on Friday.
Okay.
All right. For today, you've done everything you need to do, and you are free to log off.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
23, Miss Baxter, she's gonna try and get it worked out, but it's a consent writ to issue February 28th, 11:59 p.m. and a judgment for $24.80 plus court costs.
All right, Miss Baxter, do you swear to tell the truth under penalty of perjury? You'll have to unmute and activate your camera.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to. Hey, all right, you can hear me?
There we go.
Okay,
Yes,
cool.
we can. All right. Do you swear to tell the truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes.
And are you freely and voluntarily agreeing to those terms?
Yes. So how much
All right.
was it again?
The money judgment, give me one moment to scroll back up. Money judgment was 2480.
2480.
That's correct.
All right. Yeah, I'm trying, like I explained to the attorney, I'm gonna try to have it up because I do want to keep the apartment, but I also told him about my financial problems also, so I'm not really
Just stay in
sure.
communication with the leasing office. They may be willing to accept a partial payment. They may not. And there will be a point that they would likely ask, if they're not going to accept a partial payment, there would be a crossover point where they would also add March rent to that amount. So just be prepared for those possibilities as you try to make your plans. But for today, I will sign the agreement between the parties, and you've done everything you need to do, and you are free to log off.
All right, thank you.
Okay, just Miss Baxter, keep in mind the judgment is not the same as the amount that is due. It's probably the amount due is probably going to be more.
Okay, so
Right.
it's at 28. So why would the March, I might well just tell them to go ahead and go through the process, because what's the point of adding next month rent? I might just go ahead and leave to get out. for this month, so I don't have, so I still have to pay.
Many people choose to move out to mitigate the amount of the judgment or the amount that they might owe. The sooner the longer you stay, the longer you're running up a tab. The sooner you leave, the sooner you stop accruing that potential debt. How and if they pursue that is up to them to decide. But that's a difficult choice. I understand that you would have to weigh to determine what you think is in your best interest, short term and long term.
Okay, so I just probably need to basically contact them. I'm gonna contact them today then and just see if they can just go ahead and go through the process then, because I
All
won't
right.
get paid for next month.
Well, we'll put you in the waiting room for now, but you are free to log off when you're ready. Best of luck, Miss Baxter.
Thank you.
All right, what do we have for 25, Miss Broom?
Yes.
25, she's gonna try and get it worked out, but this consent writ to issue February 28th, 11:59 p.m. and a judgment for 23.22 and 16 cents plus court costs.
All right, Miss Broom, are you freely do you swear your statements today will be the truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes, I do.
All right, and are you agreeing to that freely and voluntarily?
Yes, I am. I'm trying to figure out what the whole price is, though. I have no idea.
Well, you can ask the property.
Okay.
Property will tell you, but the court judgment will be the amount that I've given you. As mentioned, that number does not include things like eviction filing fees or any late fees since the case was filed. And it only includes through the 28th. So if March rent were to come due, that would be incorporated into the number as well in the future. So just keep that in mind, but communicate with them and they'll let you know what to expect.
Can you tell me what number you have, Anna?
I'm going to be very careful about how I say this. The court judgment is not the same as what you owe the property, period. I'm going to put that in all caps if I could. The number for the court judgment is 23.22 and 16 cents. The court judgment does not include any late fees or utilities since the case was filed. It does not include anything for March. And it does not include that eviction fee or court filing fee that is usually between $250 and $600. And so when you talk to them, especially if March rent gets added in, expect their number to be quite a bit higher, and those are the reasons why.
All right. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Best of luck, Miss Broom. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you.